Stay Hood weekdays at 2 on Local 3.
Well, our studio is a whole lot more fun this morning, in part because Lori Martinez is here with Rock City talking about how to get your garden ready for fall. And the other part is because she's just so dang fun. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too.
So you have a very happy job.
I do. How can you not? When you love what you do, you're going to be happy.
You do love what you do, and you like to share your knowledge with other people. Certainly come up to Rock City, get some inspiration. Fall's a beautiful time to come and do that. But y'all are super proud this year, Lori, because you have got this pollinator garden. Milkweed has kind of been your star of the show.
Right.
And you've got the proof of performance now with these butterflies, right?
Yes, we're so excited. You know, we planted our pollinator garden. We started it about 2 years ago. And like you said, our star is milkweed. And one of the milkweed plants that has just been showcased this year is swamp milkweed. We had so many monarch butterflies show up. And now we've gone through the process of watching the caterpillars feed on the milkweed. And then now they've fed, they've formed their chrysalis. And we've got chrysalis everywhere.
So you mentioned swamp milkweed.
Right.
There is a distinction in the types of milkweed you plant?
Yes, there's multiple types of milkweed. We really like this, and this is one of them. This is swamp milkweed. It gets about 4 to 5 feet tall. Profuse blooms. Of course, the bloom attracts the butterfly. Milkweed is the host plant for the monarch butterfly. That's why we did this. We want to make sure that we are a host and pollinator garden for monarchs. We are a monarch station, if you will.
Right. It does like full sun.
Full sun.
So your sun conditions change with the season. So if the leaves are beginning to shed now, you've got probably more sun than you will if you have a tree that might offer some shade in the summer, right? So be mindful of that, but 6 hours plus a day.
At least 6 hours a day, and that can be morning to afternoon. It can be late morning to late or early evening. So as long as you're getting that 6 hours of sunlight, you should be good.
So how do you like to plant milkweed? Is it prettier if you kind of group them together, 3 to 5 plants together?
Yes, absolutely. I would encourage you as many as you can put together, because that's just going to be more opportunity for the attraction for the monarchs.
Do they like a certain type of soil?
You know, they're very tolerant.
If it's a swamp milkweed, can it handle some wet?
It can handle some moisture, but it can also handle anywhere up to really dry.
Okay.
So, you know, what I do is I encourage you to read your tag. Always look at the tag on the plant that you're purchasing. Like, for instance, this one will say bloom time. It says some key tips for planting, water requirements. All that stuff is very important.
So also what you're stressing are, when you can, to incorporate native plants into it. And that's in part because it helps the native species that we have here.
Right.
It's also going to work.
Yes, it's going to be tolerant of our massive changes in our ecosystem and the weather patterns that happen in this area.
So what is this that you have? That's a phlox.
So this is garden phlox, and this is actually a native plant as well. A lot of people might not recognize it because there are some cultivated varieties, but such a great plant, and it just goes and travels, and it's wonderful.
Will it have a long blooming season?
It does. This one is a little bit later right now. I think you'll see some of the varieties in the garden center with the blooms intent. They probably cut those back to time their bloom for later extension of your bloom season. So just look in your garden centers and see what's available, what's blooming right now.
The milkweed is typically like an orange, right? Orange and yellow?
Different colors.
Oh, okay.
So that you're describing the butterfly weed, which is actually a type of milkweed. This one is actually a white. It's called Ice Ballet.
Okay.
And then there are other varieties. We actually have a pink variety called Cinderella planted at Rock City.
Also swamp?
Also swamp milkweed.
Okay, so that's important too, as you're kind of weaving those colors into your garden. So you mentioned trimming back. This is the time to trim back and get ready. Are you hurting those pollinators if you do that?
So we don't trim.
You don't trim at all?
We don't trim these plants back. There's a reason for that. You can actually leave these plants and let their stems be the host for insects that will burrow into that stem, so it's a good winterizing host. It's also the food for the monarch butterfly. Once they lay their eggs on it, they lay their egg, and it provides food for the caterpillars. We like to leave that host plant over the winter, and we cut it in the spring.
Okay, so
because it's going to provide winter interest as well.
So that's true for the milkweed, but
Right.
would that be true, like suppose you're wanting to come in, maybe you have azaleas in your yard. Would that be a good time to trim them once they're bloom, if it's like an encore azalea, to trim them
So
back?
I always recommend encores or other azaleas, you prune them after they finish blooming.
Immediately?
It's a little, it's
Okay.
a little late right now to be pruning because you could be encouraging new growth that could be damaged by any frost.
Okay.
Or early freeze that we have.
So is your idea of just leaving it alone and hitting it in the early spring good for everything?
I think for me, for most things, it's going to apply.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't realize, take for instance hydrangea. A lot of people love those blooms, but they think when they turn brown that it's time to cut them all off. And that's okay. I'm not saying that's not a thing that you would want to do, but I think brown is attractive in the wintertime. I love to look at those brown old flower heads and just, it's a reminder
It
of...
beats the twigs.
Yeah, and it's a reminder of the seasonal change. You can use those in dried arrangements or leave them to add that winter interest. Plus, in the spring, birds are going to be using that to start their nesting.
But can you trim in the spring?
Yes, you
Okay.
can just trim the little head off
Okay.
in the spring.
Okay.
Right.
I think of all the work she just saved you working in your yard.
Yeah,
Now
see?
you can enjoy watching football or go to Rock City to their enchanted pumpkin patch. If you have not done that yet, I had a chance to come up.
Oh,
and
it's
see
wonderful,
it.
isn't it?
It is fantastic, and I did get to see your pollinator garden in full bloom.
Yay, that's awesome.
So go to searockcity.com, come up and see whatever part of it you enjoy. You will feel like a kid again. You'll get inspiration. You'll have fun with your family and friends and make memories. Great to see you.
Make memories worth repeating.
There you go.
That's it.
You're pretty cool.
Boom, 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 boom.